My apologies for being a little late because I was trying to actually log in from my laptop, but that didn't work. So today I'm using this mic for the voice. Please let me know if the voice quality is any better. And also, hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. So I'll wait for people to join in and then we can start our session. Sorry, just some last moment changes had to be done, so I got a bit late. Okay. Okay, so this is a live Q&A session on energy healing. I decided to do it because I know there is a lot of ambiguities about energy healing, a lot of questions, a lot of confusions. So I made this video to finally help you guys understand better what energy healing really is. Okay, thank you Rishim for letting me know. And okay, let's see, should we start? Okay, people who are gonna miss will be watching the repeat as I'll be posting it on the Facebook timeline. So I received a few questions. I'm gonna answer them. Also, I'm going to answer any other questions that you guys are going to be putting in. Also, I would like any suggestions to help improve the quality of this transmission for the next time. I did work on the voice quality, and that's it. So let's start. Okay, so the first question that I am going to answer, I have arranged these questions in a way that they would build a context and make sense. So I'm not randomly picking and answering questions, okay? So yeah, first question is, my only question is, define spirituality. When you say spirituality or spiritual healing, what exactly does it mean? Okay, so spirituality is about all of the immaterial world, the intangible world. एक तो वो दुनिया है जो हमें नज़र आती है, रियलिटी है, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड है जो हमें नज़र आता है, बट देन देयर इज़ एन इमटेरियल वर्ल्ड, राइट, जहाँ पे हमारी थॉट्स हैं, हमारी इमोशंस हैं, हमारी स्पिरिट है. So all of the study involving that aspect of life is called spirituality. And when we talk about spiritual healing, it means healing a person at that level of existence, not at the physical level of existence. So that is the difference. Every human being has a physical and a non-physical aspect. So जब हम नॉन फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट पे जाके हीलिंग करते हैं, विच इज़ एट द लेवल ऑफ माइंड, इमोशंस एंड स्पिरिट, दैट इज़ स्पिरिचुअल हीलिंग. और इसीलिए इसका ओवरलैप भी आता है साइकोलॉजी के साथ. बट द थिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड इन स्पिरिचुअलिटी एंड इन एक्चुअल ट्रू स्पिरिचुअल हीलिंग इज़ दैट spirituality is about aligning ourselves to the spirit of who we are, right? We are all in this life, experiencing this life, living our lives in different ways. We all have different careers, different relationships, different life situations, but are we living our lives according to the spirit of who we are, the essence of who we are, Or are we living our life in a direction which does not go along the spirit of who we are? When that is the case, a lot of resistance happens in life, which results in pain, suffering, illnesses. So, the spiritual practices, true spiritual practices, and spiritual understanding and spiritual knowledge is about aligning ourselves with the spirit of who we are. Okay. Um, Madiha, this session is about answering the questions that you guys have about spirituality and energy healing. Okay. So, I'll move on to the next question. And by the way, in all of this, I really appreciate you guys putting in your questions, so that apart from these few questions that I have, I'm going to answer any confusions that you have or anything that you would like to understand about energy healing and spirituality. Okay. Okay, so the next question is, what is the definition of energy healing? Okay, so everything in existence is basically energy. ठीक है, अब ये energy, it exists everywhere. It exists in all material and immaterial objects, immaterial and material existence, living and non-living things. So it makes up everything. It is the basic foundation from which everything is made up of. So जब हम healing करते हैं एक individual की at the level of the energy that they are, यही energy manifest करती है as a physical human being. But when we are not dealing with the physical aspect of us, when we are dealing with the non-physical aspect of us, that is where we are healing with energy. So इस energy में thoughts भी हैं, emotions भी हैं, spirit भी है. So all of this realm, वहाँ पे जो imbalance को वापस balance में लाया जाता है, that is called energy healing. And energy healing has so many different methods. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of different ways to heal with energies. Okay, so I'll be going into the detail of it later. Right now I'm going to be moving on to the other questions. So there is a question from Ahmed. What are you asking? Okay, how to find what our spirit wants, which career, which hobbies? Okay, so the spirit of who we are can actually get very faded in the process of growing up, because when we socialize, when we come into this world, we have this need to fit in, right? And because of that, it is very much possible that the spirit of who we are is so distant from us right now that we cannot even conceive how it would be to live that kind of life. But there is this thing that since it is a part of you and it is always there, it is going to tell you, it is going to be guiding you a little bit at a time. Okay, so it is as if you are you want to take a certain step, but you don't know where it's going to lead, right? That step, and especially if it is voice of the heart, it is always a voice of the heart. It comes as if this is something that your heart desires. So if that is the case, your spirit is actually guiding you one step at a time towards what you really want or who you really are. To, live a life that reflects the essence of who you really are and what you have really come in this world to do. So it is very much possible that you would not be knowing, especially if you have been suppressed a lot, especially if you have been living in a kind of a environment where you were not able to express yourself freely, then it is very much possible that these things are hidden, but they are always there, and your spirit is always there to guide you. So this is one very important thing. Whenever the spirit talks to you, it would talk in a very soft voice, right? So uh, steps taken out of fear, out of impatience, out of logical thinking, uh, too much meticulous calculations, they are usually not coming from the spirit. So the voice of the spirit is very soft, it is encouraging, and it is the voice that you would really like to have more of in your life, you know. So for example, if you do certain thing, if you are in the process of exploring your hobbies, for example, or your interests, and you don't know what your interest is, but there is a certain thing that would be guiding you. For example, if you are a person who's not related to art at all, but there would be something about the art that you would really like, maybe. Or whenever you would look at a piece of art, there would be a voice, a very soft, gentle voice coming from inside of you saying that, wow, it's really nice. So these kind of experiences will come more in your life when you are paying attention to your inner voice. And that is what the inner voice is. The inner voice is the voice of the spirit. And when I say it's the voice of the spirit, it does not mean that the spirit actually has a voice that we can hear physically. Uh, Sorry for the disconnection. I hope it's continuing. Uh, so there is a certain quality and the certain energy of the spirit, and that energy, when it gets conveyed to us as human beings, as we are right now in this physical world, it comes to us as maybe as a voice in the head, maybe as an image in the head, or maybe a certain feeling of knowing, maybe a certain pleasant feeling. uh, could be vague, could be clear. So this will all become clear when you are more used to listening your voice. So if you really want to be on the path of spirituality, you have to allow your inner voice to come up every time. When it happens, you need to listen to it, pay attention to what it's saying. It will bring much more harmony and ease and balance in your life, as compared to when you are taking decisions out of fear, or out of impatience, or out of helplessness, or all of these things. So uh, I hope I answered your question, Ahmed. Next is the next question I have is, wait, yeah. What are the dimensions of existence? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take 1 minute break. Okay. Okay. So dimensions of existence. Dimensions are states or levels of consciousness. Now, what do we mean by that? They are levels of awareness, which means, for example, if I'm thinking a thought, am I aware that I'm thinking a thought, or I'm just thinking a thought? Because when we generally go about our lives, and if we are generally an anxious person, we are caught up in this train of thoughts, right? एक के बाद दूसरी के बाद तीसरी के बाद चौथी, and sometimes they make no sense. They're just going on and on and on, like uh, a very, इसको क्या कहते हैं, a chattering of the monkey, right? So if that is the case, then you are not aware that you are thinking. लेकिन कभी कभी उसके बीच में एक break आता है, and then that you realize कि oh, I have been thinking so much. Why I've been thinking so much? So that is the awareness of the thought. ठीक है? So this is the concept of awareness or consciousness. Both are the same things. So dimensions of existence क्या है? Talking from the first dimension, First dimension is the material world, which is the world of objects and especially inanimate objects, यानी कि वो objects जो move नहीं करते, right? So इसमें वो सब चीज़ें आ जाती हैं which are material, and these things have a consciousness, have an have an awareness, but it is so low that they are not aware that they are there, but they are there. Okay, so being there is the first level, first dimension of consciousness. Just being there and not doing anything. So then there is the second dimension, which is the uh, consciousness level of animals and plants, or more mobile or animate or living objects. And that is the level of awareness where they are interacting with the environment around them, so they have a somewhat better level of awareness than inanimate objects. So they are, for example, moving around, playing around, eating, mating, whatever, but they are not aware that they are doing that, right? So they are just doing that. That is the second level of consciousness. Third level of consciousness, where we exist, humans, we are aware of ourselves. We are aware that we have a body, we have a mind, we have thoughts, we have emotions, and so on. So that level of awareness about ourselves is what classifies us as humans, and that is the third dimension. Now, this is where the material and immaterial world sort of cross over, because beyond this level is only immaterial existence. So fourth dimension is actually the energetic blueprint of the third dimension, what or the dimensions below it. What it means is कि जो कुछ भी हमारी फिजिकल रियलिटी में होता है वो पहले फोर्थ लेवल पे फोर्थ डिमेंशन में मैनिफेस्ट करता है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जीज, एनर्जी पैटर्न्स, राइट? For example, I'm sitting here on this sofa. When this sofa was made in this physical dimension, an image of it or an energetic pattern of this sofa was made in the fourth dimension, and then fourth dimension kind of translated into the third dimension to give rise to this sofa. Acha, up fourth, fifth and sixth dimensions, they become more and more vague. Fifth dimension, fourth and fifth dimension usually has our emotions. Fifth and sixth dimension has our thoughts, and sixth beyond, it's pure awareness, it's pure consciousness. It has not yet differentiated into the form of thought or in the form of emotion. So it's pure awareness, it's pure energy from where everything is coming forward. I'd like to give you another example. If I want to build something, let's say I'm an architect and I want to build a house. So when the house is created in the third physical dimension, third, second, first, all of these. So what is happening is that I am first making an image of the house in my mind. I'm deciding how I want it to be. I'm deciding how many rooms I want it to have. I'm deciding what color I want it to have, and all of those things. So it is first being constructed in my mind, which is happening at the level of fifth dimension, fifth or sixth dimension. And then I'm using my emotions as a guide to decide how I want it to be. How many rooms would make me feel comfortable? How many, or what color would make me feel good about my house? So that is when we are translating it through the fifth and fourth dimension. And when the image is created in the fourth dimension, it is now I would take an action to build the house, right? So taking an action and manifesting that thing in the third dimension is what brings the energy into the third dimension. Okay. Okay, I hope there is some clarity about it. Okay, so there is this question about telepathy. So what is telepathy? Can we thinking about other people make them know about us? And as internet is internet a kind of a similar thing to telepathy? Okay, so talking about all of the energetic levels of existence, telepathy is very much possible. और होती कैसे, मैं आपको एग्जांपल देती हूँ. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू हैव बीन थिंकिंग अबाउट समबडी फॉर अ डे और टू, और कोई ऐसा इंसान है जिसको आप बहुत अरसे से नहीं मिले, राइट? एंड देन व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट देम, suddenly either they make a call or they show up or you meet them somewhere. So that is a kind of a coincidence that happens. But what is happening is that those two people's energy body at the level of higher dimensions, let's say fifth and sixth dimension, is interacting with each other, right? So when my thoughts are being projected into the fifth or sixth dimension, and somebody else's thoughts are also being projected in their sixth dimension, and all of these dimensions are actually connected, then yes, me thinking about them can be received by them as thought. So thoughts are not contained inside the head. Thoughts are free-flowing energies. So if I emit a thought, it may even have a form if somebody is able to tune into those dimensions and see it. The thought can be emitted like a radio signal and can be floating around in the energetic realm and can be picked up by other people, especially if you are making an intention, or especially if you are thinking about that person. So the key point to understand here is, okay, a lot of times the thoughts that we are thinking are not our own. They are the thoughts that we are catching from the energetic realm. Why we are catching those particular thoughts? Because of our own energy states. So if our energy, for example, if my energy state is mainly of fear, then I'm going to be acting like a receiver of the radio, and I'm going to be catching thoughts which are of the same frequency, of the same vibration, which means के मुझे ज़्यादा fearful thoughts आना शुरू हो जाएंगी, मुझे ज़्यादा anxiety वाली thoughts आना शुरू हो जाएंगी. So if we want to raise our energy so that we do not attract such kind of things and also events, because eventually उन्हीं dimensions से energy translate होके नीचे आ रही है, and then that is happening as a physical event in your reality. So if we want to change our physical reality and also want to not feel bad or not attract such kind of thoughts, we need to raise our energy, raise our vibration. And how do we do that? We do that by healing, which I'll come to later. Okay, so next part of this question, is telepathy kind of the same thing as internet? Well, yes. Internet के साथ हो क्या रहा है? It's actually, so okay, one more important thing to understand. Universe is this is a fractal universe. Fractal universe का क्या मतलब है? It's a holographic universe, which means कि if we pick any part of the creation, it is going to represent the whole universe, which is a mind-boggling thing, but this is how it is. So I'll give you a very lame example. Sorry. Let's say कि आपके जो सोलर सिस्टम में जो मूवमेंट ऑफ planets है, it is kind of the same as the movement of particles in inside an atom, inside a molecule. Or you could say that if you'd like to know more about it, you can read about the golden ratio. Golden ratio is a ratio which is found everywhere in nature, in plants and in animals, and it is sort of that we are built up on that one particular ratio. इसी तरह से हमारी बॉडी का कोई भी पार्ट, इट इज़ एनर्जेटिकली रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ द होल बॉडी. सो इसी प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर आपकी रिफ्लेक्सोलॉजी बेस करती है, या आपके प्रेशर पॉइंट्स वाली जो चीज़ें हैं वो बेस करती हैं. हाउ, फॉर एग्जांपल, माय हैंड represents the whole body, right? So if I now the important thing is to map these out कि कौन सा point कहाँ पे किस body part को represent करता है. So once I do that, I can control the whole body by using my points, right? इसी तरह से my whole body represents the whole universe. इसी तरह से there are repeating patterns in the universe. So जो internet है ना, it is also the creation of internet is kind of a repeating pattern in the universe. और जहाँ पे हम जिस डायरेक्शन में हम मूव कर रहे हैं of artificial intelligence, I think it is going to create another level of consciousness, because it is very likely कि कुछ अरसे में the internet will gain consciousness of itself, because it is like, you might have seen this in movies as well, कि एक system बनाया and then we could not control that system anymore. Why? Because the system took over, because उसके पास इतना ज़्यादा डेटा आ गया, उसने सारा डेटा इंटीग्रेट कर लिया, उसने डाउनलोड कर लिया और उसे समझ में आया कि हाउ टू नेविगेट इट. So that is like the system becoming aware of itself. So it is very much possible that probably in a few 100 years from now, I don't know when, we might be fighting with artificial intelligence. Okay. I don't know why I said few 100 years. I think it is pretty much closer than that. Okay, I'm not having any other questions. You guys can write your questions so that I can answer those as well. Acha, moving on to the next question. How to be positive enough that wherever you are, all your negativities go away. So about being positive, it is the same thing as raising our vibration or making our energies vibrate at a higher level. Now how does that happen? How can we bring that about? इसके लिए जो प्रोसेस है ना, उसको कहते हैं हीलिंग, और जब हम एनर्जी के साथ करते हैं तो उसको हम कहते हैं एनर्जी हीलिंग. So first for that we need to understand emotions. जिस तरह मैंने पिछले लाइव सेशन में भी बात की थी कि emotions actually are, emotion is the guidance system that every human being has in themselves. It is sort of the navigation tool of the human spirit, because emotion के ज़रिए आपको यह एहसास होगा कि जो मैं कर रहा हूँ, am I feeling good about it or am I feeling bad about it? If I am feeling bad about it, then I am dwelling in lower energies, which means it is not beneficial for me, or my spirit does not like it. That's not who I am, right? So that is why emotions are very important. Emotions, like I said earlier, दो तरह के होते हैं, positive emotions and negative emotions. Negative emotions are feel bad emotions, which is kind of your spirit's voice telling you don't do that. Or emotions can be positive ones, which is your spirit telling you that yes, do it. Okay, so अब होता क्या है कि हमारा इमोशनल गाइडेंस सिस्टम जो है ना, इट गेट्स मेस्ड अप व्हेन वी सोशलाइज, व्हेन वी ग्रो अप, स्पेशली इन आवर अर्ली चाइल्डहुड। हमारे फर्स्ट 7 years ऑफ लाइफ में वी आर downloading everything, all the information from our surroundings, because in that age we do not have a conscious mind, we only have a subconscious mind. तो वो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड क्या करता है कि वो सारी प्रोग्रामिंग डाउनलोड कर देता है। वाई? इन ऑर्डर टू सर्वाइव इन दिस फैमिली और इन द एनवायरनमेंट और इन द कल्चर वट एवर वी आर बॉर्न इन। तो अब हमारे पास वो सिस्टम तो आ गया है, राइट? इट्स लाइक अ सॉफ्टवेयर दैट्स बीइंग रिटन, बट देन वी ऑल्सो हैव अ स्पिरिट, और इट इज़ वेरी मच पॉसिबल, बल्कि इट इज़ always the case that the two do not match. This is the whole thing about life. This is what life is. So we come in to a contrast of who we are, and then we kind of make our way through that contrast back to who we are, and then we expand and create from that space of who we are. So sorry, what was the question? How to be positive enough that all negativities go away. So इसके लिए आपको अपने इमोशंस को हील करना पड़ेगा। सो वो इमोशंस जो हैं हमारे बचपन से, हमारे बचपन के एक्सपीरियंसेस से हमारे सिस्टम में एक्यूमुलेट हो गए हुए हैं, एंड नाउ आवर इमोशनल गाइडेंस सिस्टम इज मेस्ड अप, which means कि probably let's say I wanted to do art when I was a child, ठीक है, but I was not allowed. So what happened is कि I had to suppress it. I had to tell myself that it is a bad thing because everybody around me tells me it is a bad thing. So when I did that, my emotional guidance system got messed up. ठीक है, now I maybe either I suppressed it, or if there was too much opposition, then I may actually start hating it, because I wanted to fit in. I had to fit in, like there is no other way. I had to survive in whatever situation that I came into. So मैंने उसको इतना डिसोन कर दिया, इतना रिजेक्ट कर दिया अपने उस एस्पेक्ट को, कि अब वो मुझे बुरा लगने लग गया, राइट? सो दैट इज़ वेयर probably when you will come across art, it will give you anxiety. I'm just giving you an example. Or it will, if you have really gone, if you have internalized your parent or caregiver, then you may actually start hating it. But so hating is a low energy state. It is going to act as a tool to help you come towards balance itself, because whenever, और ये भी हो सकता है कि for example you get married to a person, you grow up, you get married to a person who comes out to be an artist, and then you actually start hating it because you have become such a logical person, and this person is so, free spirited and all about colors and life, happiness and joy. Or maybe not, that when you meet them, when you start living with them, it starts irritating the heck out of you. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि that reaction that you're having is actually an indication that something is not right about it. So we have to become aware of the emotions. When we become aware of the emotions, we are moving into the awareness, which is of the level of the fifth dimension, right? Fourth, fifth dimension. और जब हम अपने इमोशंस को ऐसे ही देखना शुरू कर देते हैं जिस तरह से हम अपने थॉट्स को अवेयरनेस में ला सकते हैं, या फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम इवन लुकिंग एट दिस cell phone in front of me right now. So when I am able to become aware of my emotion in the same way that I am becoming aware of this telephone screen in front of me, then that is a level of awareness. If we switch into it, our emotional system will come into balance. और जब तक आपका इमोशनल सिस्टम बैलेंस में नहीं आता, यू कैन नॉट positive for a longer time. You know, you can all you can do all the motivational stuff that you can listen to those lectures, you can uh, read self-help books, or go to a friend who will tell you that yes, you can do it, and no, there's nothing to worry about, or whatever, or let's go do something else, let's take your mind off it. you know these things are only going to work for this period of time. Then they'll come back, और जितना आप उसको सप्रेस करते जाएंगे, जितना आप उससे डिस्ट्रैक्ट करते जाएंगे खुद को, जितना आप उससे दूर भागते जाएंगे, उतना ही वो ऑगमेंट होता जाएगा। आपकी आपकी अगली दफ़ा जब वो ट्रिगर होगा तो वो और ज़्यादा इंटेंस ट्रिगर होगा। या फिर अगर आप बहुत अच्छे हैं सप्रेशन पे, और आपने जो बचपन में चीज़ें सीखी थी, यू आर going exactly in that direction, then the energy which is not being given space to come into your awareness will show up as a physical illness. ठीक है, सो अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव रहना चाहते हैं तो आपको अपना लेवल ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। और जो मेरी पिछली वीडियो थी फेसबुक लाइव वाली, जिसमें मैंने बताया था कि आपने इमोशंस को कैसे हील करना है, प्लीज़ डू दैट. Until you're going to do that, you're not going to actually heal at a true in a true spiritual sense. घूम फिर के आप वापस वहीं आ जाएंगे जहाँ से आपने शुरू किया था, अगर आप ये नहीं करेंगे तो। ठीक है, आई एम गोना चेक के आर देयर एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस. Oh, there have been so many comments. Why did I miss? Moaz is asking, what is correlation between spirituality you are telling and the spirituality Islam tells us? Okay, so I think meditation has always been an integral part of religion as well. Meditation मतलब मराकमा, although as we grew up, or as we came to know about it from our ancestors, that bit of religion had lost its importance. We went too much into the literal zahiri nazar aane wali cheezein, like the practices and the rituals, but we actually lost that very important aspect. And what we are doing in meditation, we are becoming aware, we are raising our level of awareness and level of consciousness, and that is the best way to connect with your own spirit, and then that connects with the divine spirit. So that is my answer for Moz. Okay, let's see. How to tackle negative vibes coming from others and how to tackle phobias. सो नेगेटिव वाइब्स की तो मैंने वही बात की ना, कि द नेगेटिव वाइब्स आर गोइंग टू अफेक्ट यू ओनली टिल यू आर हार्बरिंग नेगेटिविटी इनसाइड यू. जब तक आप लो इमोशनल स्टेट्स में हैं, लो इमोशनल स्टेट्स क्या हैं? शेम, गिल्ट, फियर, एंजाइटी, होपलेसनेस, पॉवर्टी, विक्टिमहुड, हेल्पलेसनेस, ये सारी लो एनर्जी स्टेट्स हैं. Anger, frustration. So if your life is predominantly these feelings, तो इसका मतलब है कि आपकी लाइफ में ऐसे बहुत लोग आएंगे जो आपकी इन फीलिंग्स को ट्रिगर करेंगे. और ये फीलिंग्स ट्रिगर क्यों हो रही हैं? ट्रिगर इसीलिए हो रही हैं सो दैट यू सी योर सेल्फ एंड कम इन टू बैलेंस. दैट्स द होल पॉइंट ऑफ इट. और जितना जल्दी कर लें उतना अच्छा. अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन का सेकंड पार्ट भी था, हाउ टू टैकल फोबियाज. हाँ, अच्छा, फोबियाज जो होते हैं ना, अगेन सम वेयर कमिंग फ्रॉम योर चाइल्डहुड, एक एसोसिएशन बन जाती है. तो यानी कि अगर आपने कोई एक स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशन एक्सपीरियंस किया ऑफ फियर, एंड लेट्स से यू वर आई डोंट नो doing something particular, like maybe in a closed space at that time, or maybe you were standing at a height at that time. So it is likely to develop those phobias. ठीक है, जैसे डॉग फोबिया होता है. सो डॉग फोबिया क्या है कि बचपन में आपको डॉग से डराया जाता है, राइट? एंड देन देर इज एन एसोसिएशन क्रिएटेड इन योर माइंड that this thing can harm you, or while you are feeling fear you are also thinking about that thing, or while you are feeling fear you are somewhere experiencing that thing. So the two get mixed up in your energetic software जो आपका डाउनलोड हुआ बचपन में, and that can result in phobias. Okay, so how to heal them? Heal fear, fear heal होगा, phobia heal होगा. ऑल्सो आप जो वो करते रहें, जो पिछले लाइव सेशन में मैंने जो बताई थी हीलिंग वाली मेडिटेशन, डू दैट विद अ फोबिया. अगर आप फोबिया के साथ करेंगे तो आपका फोबिया भी हील होगा. ओके, सो लेट्स सी. थैंक यू कायनात. Voice quality is reduced. Please let me know about the voice. I have a mic right here. People, please let me know if you can hear me clearly, because I really don't know what to do about it now. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question. Nayab, please tell how to maintain consistency in feeling positive about oneself. Same answer. Increase your level of awareness about yourself. Do the emotional healing. And जब तक आप वो नहीं करेंगे ना, there is an opposition inside you. There is because जो emotion होता है ना, emotion is like you can imagine it like a ball of energy. It actually is. I mean, I'm not talking about it in metaphorical terms. It actually is most of the times like a ball of energy. And if you will start tuning into yourself, you will even start feeling it yourself. तो जब तक आपके अंदर एक नेगेटिव इमोशन है जिसका कुछ it is actually the energy is so dense, it is almost reaching down to the level of matter. So when it is that dense and you are trying to achieve a positive feeling, it will always come in your way. It will keep you blocked. So first you have to heal that emotion, and then you can go on to maintain a positive state. Okay. To me, next question. To me, I am a very straightforward person and I take it as a positive thing. But in today's life, you have to be a hypocrite. Oh. People want chaploosi, and I think it is a negative emotion. So how can you force yourself to move from positive thing to negative? Okay, so अच्छा, ये जो प्रॉब्लम है, seriously there is a voice issue. Should I hold it in my hand? Is it better? Wait, let me check. Acha, how is it now? Please tell me about the voice. I'm waiting for the voice. No, okay. Any So I don't know why I'm getting mixed. Yes, we can hear you now. Okay, good. So हाँ, तो ये जो मसला है ना हिपोक्रेसी वाला, ये बहुत लोगों के साथ है. लॉट ऑफ पीपल आस्क मी दीज क्वेश्चंस दैट यू हैव टू बी something that you are not, and then you have to, in order to function in this world, you have to pretend, and you have to be uh, a hypocrite. I'm sorry about the voice. Should I come back live again if it's really bothering, या मैं continue करूँ? Okay. Okay, I'm carrying on. I'm going to speak a bit louder. So, what I was saying was कि बहुत सारे लोग ये कंसर्न लेके आते हैं कि हमें दुनिया में फंक्शन करने के लिए हिपोक्रेसी करनी पड़ती है. वी हैव टू प्रिटेंड हु वी आर नॉट, एंड it's really negative thing, मुझसे नहीं किया जाता. So the thing is कि अच्छा, हम हिपोक्रेसी की बात करते हैं ना. मैं अब हिपोक्रेसी में सही बात करती हूँ, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग दैट नो बडी टेल्स अस. हिपोक्रेसी फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट हम अपने साथ करते हैं ना, राइट. वी हैव developed such a habit of because we need to fit in. वो फिट इन करने के लिए, अगले को खुश करने के लिए, we first of all become dishonest with ourselves, and that is when we kick the spirit out from the equation. ठीक है, क्योंकि स्पिरिट ने तो आपकी, what your spirit wants from you is being honest and authentic, because it wants to express itself, because that is who you are. So सबसे पहले तो हम, in the process of socialization, in the process of trying to fit in, we become hypocrites with ourselves. That is the most dangerous form of hypocrisy for yourself. Why? Because it is going to push you into a downward spiral, and your life is going to become more and more miserable every day. So if you really want to heal, सबसे पहले तो आपको अपने साथ ऑनेस्ट होना पड़ेगा. आपको अपने साथ इस हद तक ऑनेस्ट होना पड़ेगा, एटलीस्ट यू नो, इफ यू आर नॉट टेलिंग इट टू द अदर पर्सन, एटलीस्ट यू शुड नो इट इन योर माइंड, इन योर सेल्फ, कि व्हाट इज इट दैट यू रियली लाइक एंड व्हाट इज इट दैट यू डोंट लाइक, यू नो. क्योंकि यहाँ पे हिपोक्रेसी पहले होती है, बाद में हम दूसरों के साथ करते हैं. सो जो लोग तो ऐसा फील कर रहे हैं ना, I really want them to look inside themselves and question themselves कि कहाँ पे you are being hypocrite with your own selves, because there's a good chance that you are. Why? उसके पीछे law of attraction है. If anybody is interested in knowing about law of attraction, then I'll talk about it as well. Or you can ask your questions about law of attraction. Next question. Oh, okay. How to heal chronic illnesses. So जैसे मैंने बात की थी कि आपकी अपनी ही इमोशंस होते हैं जिनका मैस होता है. एक्चुअली यू नो, यू विल फील, you when you heal an emotion, you actually feel light. Why? Because वो mass carrying heavy energy निकल जाती है. अच्छा, जो लो एनर्जी स्टेट्स होती हैं ना, they feel heavier. Shame would feel heavier, fear would feel constricting and heavier. Grief, very heavy. Um, Hopelessness, very heavy. So these are the emotional states that bring you down because they have gravity. They are closer to the physical matter, physical dimension. और जो high energy states होती हैं, they feel light. They feel light. They feel, when you're happy, you feel like, you want to just jump around, or you want to fly. you know that is the kind of feeling, because you're feeling light. So जो आपके नेगेटिव इमोशनल स्टेट्स होते हैं, दे आर एक्चुअली हैवी. एंड व्हेन एन और अगर तो वो आपकी अवेयरनेस में नहीं है ना, यानी कि अगर वो आपके सबकॉन्शियस में है, तो अब वो उसको आपकी अटेंशन चाहिए. बिकॉज द होल प्रोसेस ऑफ लाइफ इज अबाउट बिकमिंग अवेयर ऑफ आवर सेल्स. द होल प्रोसेस ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी is about becoming aware of ourselves. So, and spirituality is part and parcel of life. It's not only for somebody, it's for everybody. So, जब वो आपकी awareness में नहीं है ना, so now it will try to attract your attention through, indirectly through the physical dimension, right? So अब वो weight carrying emotion of grief, for example, इतना heavy हो गया कि now it has started showing symptoms in your physical body. And why? Because it wants to get your attention. It wants you to become aware of it, and it wants you to become aware of yourself. So usme there is a good chance कि जो आप जिस इमोशन की वजह से, अब फॉर एग्जांपल ग्रीफ है ना, ग्रीफ अगर तो फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर carrying it here, and you're carrying it and carrying it, and it has become so heavy that it has started manifesting as a lung disease, because lung is where grief उसके साथ resonate करता है. We store grief in our lungs. So if you have developed a physical illness affecting your lungs, and it is probably grief, तो होगा क्या कि जब आपको पता चलेगा ना कि आपको ये डिजीज़ हो गई है, तो जो आपका इमोशन होगा ना, जो आपकी फीलिंग होगी ऑन एक्सपीरियंसिंग दैट इलनेस इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी ग्रीफ. यू आर गोइंग टू बी सैड अबाउट इट. सो अ गुड वे ऑफ आइडेंटिफाइंग कि आपकी, अगर आपको पता नहीं चल रहा ना कि आपका कौन सा इमोशन है जो ऐसे फिजिकल इलनेस में आ गया है, because it's the same energy, it has augmented itself so much over time कि वो build कर करके physical illness में आ गया. तो because it wants your attention, so जो feeling आपको अब आएगी उस physical illness की, that is originally the emotion that you have accumulated and that has manifested the physical illness. So physical illness को heal करने के लिए you have to heal that big block of energy that you're carrying inside. उसके बगैर नहीं होगा. ठीक है. Oops. Okay. Madiha is asking a question. I want to know about law of attraction, and can we attract every good to us, and how to deal with hypocrites. Law of attraction basically है क्या? Law of attraction ये है कि like attracts like. So whatever my energy is, whatever my energetic state is, I'm going to attract people and situations of the same energetic state. So अगर मेरा एक dominant emotion है, let's say helplessness, hopelessness, I'm going to attract situations that will make me feel hopeless again and again and again. If you have an energy pattern of poverty, you are going to attract people and situations that of the sort that will keep you in that state of poverty till the time you realize that you have to heal yourself. So yes, if we are able to heal ourselves from those negative emotions and rise to the positive ones, yes, we can attract the good in our lives. But it is not only with thought. It is not very likely कि आप let's say you are very hopeless person, you feel very hopeless, and then you are thinking about hopeful thoughts. So emotion और thought की energy में बहुत फ़र्क है. Thought is very light and emotion is very dense. So आप thought से उसको कितना काउंटर करेंगे, आप करेंगे, करते रहेंगे करते रहेंगे करते रहेंगे. आई डोंट नो, यू मे बी डूइंग एफर्मेशंस फॉर ईयर्स एंड देन यू विल हैव सम रिजल्ट्स. बट और होता क्या है कि इमोशन में चूंकि एबिलिटी है टू अट्रैक्ट द सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी एंड बिल्ड इट अपॉन इट सेल्फ, तो अगर आप थोड़ा सा हील भी करते हैं ना तो वो वापस हो जाता है. सो दैट इज़ वाई वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू हील द इमोशन. अगर आप कुछ गुड अट्रैक्ट करना चाहते हैं अपनी लाइफ में, फर्स्ट हील व्हाट यू फील बैड अबाउट. अभी क्या है आपकी ज़िंदगी में जो आपको बुरा महसूस करा रहा है, हील दैट इमोशन. जब वो एनर्जी हील हो जाएगी, रिलीज हो जाएगी, नाउ व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट अ पॉजिटिव थॉट, नाउ व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट अ होपफुल थॉट, दैट इज़ व्हेन इट्स गोइंग टू really be manifested in your life. And how to deal with hypocrites. देखें, अगर तो hypocrites आपको तंग कर रहे हैं ना, इसका मतलब है कि you are carrying that energy inside you. It's very simple. इसीलिए ask yourself, where am I being dishonest with myself? That is what I really need to find out. Risham is asking about telepathy. Does it mean that for telepathy to work, that person has to be thinking of you too in order to attract or identify your thoughts? No. It is. अच्छा, इसमें ना इस रैम में हम, बिकॉज वी आर सो यूज टू लुकिंग एट थिंग्स सो सेपरेटली कि ये एक बंदा अलग है, वो बंदा अलग है, वो बंदा अलग है. When we are talking about higher dimensional states, that is not the case. So a thought is a thought, right? If I'm thinking that thought and projecting it into that dimension, or somebody else is thinking that thought and projecting into that dimension, we are actually exchanging it. सही है. तो if I am thinking a thought, somebody else might be catching it, and then that to them would feel like as if they have thought the thought, but they have caught the thought, you know. So human mind is a transmitter and a receiver both. वो रिसीव भी कर रहा है और ट्रांसमिट भी कर रहा है. तो एट टाइम्स यू आर रिसीविंग अ थॉट एंड यू फील लाइक के यू आर थिंकिंग इट, यू नो. जब आउट ऑफ नोवेयर कोई थॉट आती है, it is usually from you have caught it from somebody who was thinking about you. Yeah. Acha. Okay, so I have actually run out of questions. So please और questions बताएं ताकि मैं आंसर करूं. And let me check if my list is finished. Yep. Any more questions, people? I'm waiting. सब कुछ समझ आ गई लगता है. Okay, so how to send a thought to a specific person or group. पहली बात तो ये कि why do you want to because that is something that is just going on its own, and if you're really an authentic person, you would not want to do that, but you can uh, just think about them and think about the thought and that, okay, so people who are experiencing more of these coincidences or telepathic kind of events, कि आप कुछ सोच रहे होते हैं और वो हो जाता है, या क्या कहना चाहिए, सोच रहे होते हैं किसी के बारे में और उस इंसान का फ़ोन आ जाता है, और सम similar kind of synchronicities, if they happen, then what it means is that you are actually at a better level of energy, because as you are rising in energy, uh, and you are more tuned into the higher realms of consciousness, तो आपकी it means that you are just more aware of it. Whatever is happening, whatever you are creating in physical life, physical dimension, you are more aware of it. So yeah, so your level of awareness is better than a person who does not know or does not come across these things, वरना हो तो रही होती हैं. Breathing exercise can be done daily and anytime. Yes, breathing exercise is a wonderful exercise, and it can be done every day, every time, whenever you feel like it. Uh, it's a very important, significant, helpful tool to heal, with amazing results. और reality, law of attraction के point of view से बात करूँ तो आप कुछ मैनिफेस्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, आप कुछ चाह रहे हैं कि मेरी लाइफ में कुछ हो, मेरी अच्छी जॉब हो, फॉर एग्जांपल यू नो आई शुड हैव अ हाई पेइंग जॉब, और आप नहीं मैनिफेस्ट कर पा रहे, यानी कि वो नहीं हो रही चीज़ आपकी लाइफ में, एंड यू आर बिकमिंग सो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, और यू आर बिकमिंग होपलेस, और यू आर बिकमिंग स्केयर्ड ऑफ द फ्यूचर कि आगे क्या होगा. सो दीज इमोशंस, they are actually the blocks, they are the things that are not letting you manifest that thing. So when you are going to do that breathing exercise on these emotions, emotions dissolve हो जाएंगे, heal हो जाएंगे, and now it will be so much easier to manifest that thing. और जॉब भी मिल जाएगी. ऐसे miracles होते हैं कि you know sometimes I even don't believe, even though you know I teach this and I do it with my clients, but sometimes when they happen to me I'm like, oh my god, what just happened. अच्छा, Ali bhai, walaikum assalam. Irsa is asking how to deal with the roller coaster of emotions, especially negative ones, because carrying them is heavy. Yes, becoming awareness is the only thing that is going to help you out of it. You cannot fight them. Just drop the idea that fighting a negative emotion will make it disappear. It will not. वो सिर्फ उसको ऐड करेगा. फॉर द टाइम बीइंग आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएंगे, आप कुछ फील गुड वाली चीज़ करने लग जाएंगे, बट इट विल इवेंचुअली कम बैक. जब भी सिमिलर सिचुएशन आएगी इट विल कम बैक. सो इफ the only thing is to the only helpful thing to do is to change your level of consciousness, level of awareness. So from being an emotion, become the observer of the emotion. और जब आप ये करेंगे ना, you will realize, you will notice that over the period of next few days, weeks, the emotion will start losing its strength. It's वो जितना बुरा आपको फील होता था, वो जो रोलर कोस्टर था ना, वो नहीं होगा. Okay. Law of attraction usually talks about letting go and going with the flow. If one lets go of what they want, isn't that like just being okay with whatever you get? I don't exactly understand how the concepts of attracting something and letting go exist simultaneously. Yep. Okay, I'm going to explain it. जब हम letting go की बात करते हैं ना, we are talking about going into that state of awareness or that state of consciousness where we just accept everything that is, you know, which means ke we are actually going into a higher state of consciousness and we are now seeing everything that is happening, and now that everything is just there and we are okay with it, and that is when we are sort of letting it go. When we are doing it from a higher level of awareness about your life, then it works. But if you are experiencing an emotion and then you let go by trying to distract yourself, that letting go is not going to work. I'm not sure if I answered it completely. Uh, yeah, so if you are actually being okay with whatever you get from a higher level of consciousness, you are automatically in that space where your unpleasant emotions will eventually be released. uh, that is how you will be able to attract other things. So letting go and attracting something, that is how they go hand in hand. Sometimes we are doing everything to deal with negative emotions or thoughts, but still they persist. What to do? Stop doing anything to stop them. जब हम किसी चीज़ को स्टॉप करने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं ना, वी आर ट्राइंग टू, वी आर एक्चुअली रेजिस्टिंग. तो अगर मुझे इमोशन ऑफ ग्रीफ है और एनजाइटी है, लेट्स से आई हैव एनजाइटी, एनजाइटी इश्यूज, मुझे किसी भी छोटी छोटी बात से एनजाइटी हो जाती है. अब अगर तो मैं ये कोशिश करूँगी कि मुझे ये एनजाइटी ना हो, तो मैं क्या कर रही हूँ कि आई एम इंट्रोड्यूसिंग रेजिस्टेंस. अब emotion है ना, that wants to come into your awareness because it is an aspect of you, and whole of spirituality is about becoming aware of yourself, right? So अगर उस emotion, वो emotion that it wants my awareness, सही है. अब मैं अगर खुद को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करके कुछ और काम में लग जाती हूँ, या मैं चाह रही हूँ कि ये ना हो, एंड आई एम फाइटिंग इट, आई एम फाइटिंग इट, आई एम फाइटिंग इट, what I'm doing it is I'm trying to push it down so that it does not come in my awareness. Now that is exactly opposite of becoming aware, and that is exactly opposite of what meditation is and what consciousness is. तो जब तक आप फाइट करते रहेंगे अपने इंटरनल एस्पेक्ट्स के साथ, because you have to understand they are all aspects of you. It's not your enemy, it's you. It's you yourself. You know, your emotion is like your little baby, and you need to take care of it like you would take care of a baby. If you would give it the same kind of love that you would give to your child, you would notice how easily it just melts away. So don't try to fight it away. Okay. Risham is asking, also, is everything a synchronicity, or are some things just coincidences too? And how to differentiate? No, there are no coincidences, there are only synchronicities. It's just that कि कुछ चीज़ें हम अगर हमारा लेवल ऑफ अवेयरनेस ज़्यादा है, तो we are becoming aware of it, we are noticing it more, or maybe creating it more. But जिसे जिसके नोटिस में नहीं आ रही है ना, वो भी it is the same, happening through the same process, but it's not as much, and it is not as obvious maybe, but it is always something happening according to the law of attraction, because law of attraction is playing its role in every situation. It is always there, it is always working. There is never a moment when your life is not a reflection of your own energetic state. It is never ever possible. uh, how can we make how can we make someone decide what you want? I didn't get it. How can we make someone decide what you want? Sorry, can you write your question again, Madhya? Sorry, I'm just not brainstorming it right now. Is there some explanation to coincidence? Coincidence. Explanation to coincidence. It's the law of attraction that I was just talking about. So if you have further question, please let me know. Okay. Okay, I think we are done for today. I have answered lots of questions, and probably I'll be coming back live with question answer session soon. I'm sure you'll have a lot of other questions till then, and I'm also going to release the Reiki healing video right after this session. It's going to help you calm down anxiety, panic, fear, hopelessness, any of these low states. If you're experiencing, you can listen to the Reiki healing video and you will feel better. So uh, let me know in the comments how did you find it. uh, Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Allah.